Archie Slaymaker, International Box News, and I'm John Mayer, Jay McFarlane. Jay, how are you today?
I'm brilliant, mate. Brilliant. Tired and sore, but I'm brilliant.
I know you've been on about obviously training. Have you trained today at all?
Yeah, I trained this morning. Actually, my phone broke as well, so I had to go and get that fixed. And then I've got another session on tonight. So,
Oh,
uh,
we'll jump straight into it. How is training camp going for yourself so far? Obviously, I've watched the
as
flash and
uh,
it's been going really well for yourself.
yeah, mate. It's the best training camp I've had so far. Even better than when I was making cruiserweight. I feel amazing. The team I've got around me just now is just it's phenomenal what they're doing for me and how they're helping me, and I'm putting the work in as well because I'm motivated.
What is giving you the motivation this time around? Obviously, I've watched previous things of yourself, and maybe sometimes you may have struggled with motivation, struggled to get up for fights. But what's giving it to yourself this time?
A few things, mate. One, I've grown up. I'm not a stupid wee boy anymore. I realise how important and how dangerous a sport can be. Two, I can do it. I know I can do it. Whereas I've always had a blockage. I've got my mind sorted. You know what I mean? I've always had a blockage in my own mind of not thinking I can do it. Or and three, she wants to get married in a house, so I can't really do that on the wedge I'm on the nurse.
I know you said on the podcast as well. I won't touch on it too much, but you said you've been surviving all your life as well.
Aye.
Could you briefly touch on that and what you mean by that?
Well, my whole life, man. I never had the greatest upbringings. At one point, I ended up in an orphanage in the Caribbean. I've had a mad life, mate. You know what I mean? Through also being stabbed and it's just that I've had a bit of a mad life. It was just one of them. We've not got enough time to go into, or you'll be into trouble and what. But I've had a bit of a mad life, mate. Grew up in the slums of Glasgow. You know what I mean? That's about all you need to say.
Was you at all surprised that you got off this fight? Obviously, I've been looking at your record. Obviously, some things come across that if you look at your record, you wouldn't believe you go in there and give it your all every single fight. Obviously, Matchroom, Eddie Hearn have looked at that
Mhm.
and believe that and think it'll be a really good test for Thomas Carty. But was you surprised you got the call at all?
Uh, I was because it was meant to be fighting a guy, Gary Sweeney, but apparently Gary Sweeney absolutely shit a brick. So I get the call up. They wanted to fight for the Irish title, but I can fight for the Celtic. So I get the call up. So I kind of thought there's a possibility. Um, but I've been training the whole time anyway, waiting on something coming. I know something will come because as you say, I'm always going for it. I'm always entertaining. I'm not just entertaining when I fight. I'm entertaining outside the ring. I've got a big mouth. You know what I mean? So it's I knew something was coming. I knew something was coming, but like you said, mate, my record doesn't reflect how I box. I turned up to most of my fights drunk, um, and I'm now 3 months sober completely of everything. And it's the first time in a long 4 months. Sorry, eh, 3 months, 3 months, 3 months. Just thinking that after my last fight, but it's the first time in a very long time that I've taken things seriously. I've trained 2 3 times every single day. I've put the work in, but that's
Can you tell a difference? Obviously, I know you said obviously that you have been sober for 4 months. You said, can you tell a difference in your training and how it's all going?
massive difference. I was nursing a hangover constantly. I was drinking most days. Most days I was drinking. I would have 2 or 3 days of the week I wouldn't drink. But what a difference I can feel in myself. And it's not just the drink; it's everything else that comes with it. You know what I mean? But eating well, training well. I feel great for the first time in a long time. I actually think I don't think I'm going to go back and party again. I think that's me head screwed on.
That's obviously good to hear, and obviously once this fight, bigger and better things are going to come for yourself. Obviously, it
Mm.
was said as well on the podcast that you two talk in your DMs as well. I found that quite
Yeah,
interesting
yeah, yeah.
at all.
Anytime I fought Southpaws and stuff, he's off to come over and spar. Um, we've spoke through the camp, asking each other how we've got on. But both of us are going in there. I mean, he's going in there very, very confident, which I don't think he should be, because he's going to get a fright. Because I don't think he realizes how good I am. Even though we're mates, I don't think he realizes it. But no, we're both fans of each other. You know, it's going to be. I said to him before I signed the contract, I was saying to him, we'll stand in the middle and we'll trade and we'll have the fight of our lives. We'll put on a show. That's what we'll do. And then we'll shake hands and we'll go for a pint after. And we agreed to do that.
Perfect. Obviously, just with regard to that,
Mm-hmm.
he did mention several fighters turned down the fight. Why have you actually taken this fight? I know we briefly touched on it. Obviously, your girlfriend, she does want to get married. Would you say
Yeah.
that's one of the biggest motivations? Is your girlfriend?
No, no, I know I can win. I know I can win. I know what's coming after it. I've won this fight already. I've already won this fight. I don't. All I need to do is turn up. I've won. I know. I know. There's something different in me now. You know what I mean? And there's not as much shit in me. There's not as much fucking alcohol, cocaine, fucking. You know what I mean? Just mischievous. My mindset's changed. My whole mind's been expanded, and I'm on to bigger and better things. I knew I was winning as soon as I got the call. I knew I was going to. I said after Rome, I was like, look, you can slate me all you want for losing here and there, but I'll turn one of these big boys over. I will turn one of them over because I'm always there or thereabouts. I just don't get it. And unfortunately, because I like Thomas, but he's going to be the one I turn over.
That's perfect. Obviously, would you say you've been in some big fights? Would you say this is the
Yeah,
biggest fight of your career?
yeah. Every fight's the biggest fight in my career. Every fight is, but this is. It's the biggest night in Irish boxing history. You know, all my background, my family background is all Irish. You know, uh, I love an Irish crowd. The Irish crowd is phenomenal. I can't wait to fight in front of it. You know, it's dream come true stuff. So it's the fight of my life. It's the fight for my life because this will change my life. This fight.
I don't want to obviously look past Thomas at all, but what do you believe a win does for your career?
Well, it secures me a two fight deal with his own for a start, which is a nice wee pocket filler. You know what I mean? But it puts me back in the mix. You know, I was in the mix. I was in the mix after I won the Scottish Cruiserweight title. I moved back up to heavyweight a couple of wins. I was sitting number 10 in the UK, and then alcohol got the better of me, and I started losing fights because I was turning up drunk. I started doing this, doing that, and fucking about. And then I took a big dip, and then I've started getting bigger opportunities recently again, and I've been trying to take the opportunities. Maybe I've not been winning them, but this is the one that I will win, and I will turn everything back round, put myself back in the mix, and I'll look on to bigger and better things.
Obviously, for the Celtic title, what does it mean? What will it mean to you to win that title and have that around your waist?
Oh, I mean everything. I mean everything. I said I would happily retire after winning the title of heavyweight. I want better than the Celtic though. I want to fight for a British or a Commonwealth. I definitely want my Scottish back, but Nick Campbell's not interested in the rematch.
Was
That
there
was
any
my belt.
talks? Was there any talks of the Nick Campbell rematch at all?
Nah, he just doesn't want it. I've sparred with him since and stuff as well, and he's going on to do his own thing. You know, all the best to him, but I think he knows the a proper fighting a proper Jamie McFarlane would not go the same way because that's another fight I turned up to drunk. You know what I mean? I was out the night before all the way through, and turned up and still at one point I was favourite in the bookies. You know what I mean? Through the fight, so it's just I don't think it'll ever happen again. Hopefully, he vacates it and I can fight someone else for it because he's not wanting to. But I really want that ticked off my list of the Scottish title.
And obviously, just the last one from myself. I know we briefly touched on the Irish crowd. What does it mean, obviously, you are on a massive card on his own,
Mm.
Taylor Cameron. I
Yeah,
just want
yeah, yeah.
your thought process on how that fight goes in your opinion.
Taylor Cameron.
Yeah.
It's a hard one to call because both are phenomenal. Both of them are excellent. You know what I mean? And there's been a slight decline in Katie Taylor, and it's just due to age. It's not to do with anything she's up against. She's just getting on a bit, and Chantelle Cameron just seems to be getting better. So it's one of them you just don't know. It's a true 50-50. A couple of years ago, I would have said Katie Taylor definitely, but now gun to head, I'm actually thinking Chantelle Cameron. But you've also got the fact that Katie Taylor's going to be in front of an Irish crowd, and she's going to have that behind her. You know, so it's a really really hard one to call.
I know I said it would be my last question, but just lastly, I want a
Mm-hmm.
message to Thomas Carty ahead of your blockbuster fight on May 20th.
Don't be afraid. Stand and trade. Don't be afraid. Don't run.
Perfect.
That's my message.
Thanks, Joe McFarlane, for talking to International Boxing News.